have to realize that I need different mentors for different stages and different things that I'm doing. So I've still kept studying. I've still gone and done lots of additional courses and learned new skills along the way because I can't resist them. But now I don't have the thoughts in my head that say, this is it. This is how I'm going to make my money. This is where I need to be to create the business I need to create because of this course. It's just going to make it all different for me. Whereas in actual fact, the only thing that's going to make it different for me is seeing the clients and getting support when I'm seeing the clients. Hello and welcome. Mentoring with Geraldine is a bite-sized practitioner podcast for naturopaths, nutritionists, herbalists, and practitioners. This podcast responds directly to your needs, the needs of the practicing natural therapist. With interviews, herbal discussions, something business and something clinical each week, you'll get the variety you need and enjoy to stay motivated in practice. Hello everyone and welcome to Mentoring with Geraldine and the Bite-Sized Podcast. I thought I'd take a bit of a step back today and talk about mentoring and getting yourself a mentor. What does it mean to have a mentor and why we need them? So my very first mentor was one of my lecturers. So I would drive with my brown manila folders and my client's notes 50 minutes from where I live. I would book an appointment and I would go for the appointment and I would take my client files with me. And then I would go through the client files and ask for his suggestions. And I did that for a year, maybe two. And it worked fantastically. So, I have the next level group and we kind of do the same thing, except it's all online and no one has manila folders these days. Everything's online. But why did I need a mentor? I needed that support and that consistency to keep going. Because when we start out, it's a struggle. We've got no P2. We've got no lecturer to ask the question of. We've just been let loose into the world and told to get on with it. We've got everybody helping us with our social media. We've got everybody helping us to get more clients. So they say, not that that's ever worked for me when I've gone and bought all of those. Whereas in actual fact, I needed someone I could bounce ideas off, someone that I could talk to, someone that was there to help and support me. So we have different types of mentors for different things. So I have a number of different mentors and I started my journey a long time ago with mentors because of course he was my first mentor, my lecturer. And then I read a book by Tara Mohair and she said in the first chapter that women keep studying because they don't think that they're adequate, whereas a man will just start working. And I thought, oh my Lord, how accurate is that? That is so me. I keep learning things. I keep wanting to do courses. I keep learning something different. I keep getting a new modality instead of thinking, where am I going and what am I doing? Another example that happened at almost exactly the same time, maybe just before I read that book. I went to the chiropractor. I don't go to chiropractors very much. I prefer an osteopath, but I happen to be a chiropractor on this occasion. And I said, I was thinking about doing a lactation course. And he said, what are you going to do with it? I know you've done tons of courses already. I know that you're really well qualified as a nurse and a naturopath. And so what are you going to do with that? And I was like, yeah, what am I going to do with that? I've got my basic lactation training from the UK when I did all my pediatric work and my neonatal work. So do I need to do the full-on course to get the certification to say that I'm a lactation consultant? Am I going to throw my all into lactation consultancy? Is that where I want to be and what I want to do? And I thought, no, it's not. It's another side thing. It's something else on the side. Whereas in actual fact, I need the support to do what I'm doing. Yeah. And then after I'd seen him, then I read the Tara Mohair book and it just clicked into place. There's nudges along the line of, I just have to get on. And I have to realize that I need different mentors for different stages and different things that I'm doing. So I've still kept studying. I've still gone and done lots of additional courses and learned new skills along the way because I can't resist them. But now I don't have the thoughts in my head that say, this is it. This is how I'm going to make my money. This is where I need to be to create the business I need to create because of this course. It's just going to make it all different for me. Whereas in actual fact, the only thing that's going to make it different for me is seeing the clients and getting support when I'm seeing the clients. The only thing that's going to be different for me is that I'm trying to learn something else new and I'm confusing my clients. All right. Because that's something that happens. We confuse our clients with the amount of modalities personalities we have, especially when they're very different to what we're doing or to what they expect or what they paid for. So not all of my naturopathic clients want hypnotherapy, and my hypnotherapy clients don't want my naturopathic skills, even though with hypnotherapy I insist that they have the naturopathic skills as well, because I can see that the medical side of them needs looking after as well as the psychological side of them. So when we're picking our mentor, we need to go, what is that I need? What is it that I enjoy? And will this be long-term or short-term? So with the Academy, people just stay. People are in it for ages. So that's different to when I do my graduate mastery program. People are in it for 5 months, and then I'd say a quarter of them stay on and into the Academy. Not everyone does. So it's really interesting when we look at people's needs and how we all relate to other mentors and people that we need at the time. So after I'd done some work with Tara Maher, then I did some work with, I'm not going to say their name because I didn't actually get much out of it or enjoy it. It's a couple of blokes. So that wasn't really for me. Then I found another bloke who was very motivated and very, very American. So I paid quite a lot of money for that. And it took me a long time to really say to myself, not to spot or to understand, but to say to myself, I'm being sold to here, and this is too American for my situation, for who I am and for who I am selling to, who my client base is. This just doesn't settle properly. This isn't right. So I'd been at this quite a while. Then I went to, Tammy Guest was in Adelaide, and I went along and she said, there's a retreat involved. As soon as she said retreat, I put my hand up because I'd never been on retreat. So I really wanted to go on a retreat. So I have the retreat in the Academy coming up, and it's the first physical retreat ever. Nothing like Tammy's at all. So, because she's very different to me. And so that's the thing as well. We resonate with different people, don't we? So the way we do things is different with each person. How people resonate with us will often, that dictates how we resonate with them. What the work we do with them is. It might be that we start something and realize this just isn't for me, like with the American, and they're still contacting me and I still get emails from them all these years later. And then I go back and I think, yeah, I'll just have a look at the content. Might be something there that I've missed. And I always think to myself, no, there actually isn't. This still isn't right for me. This still isn't who I am, even though he's got a lot of my money. So, and we always still need mentors. So I still have them. So Teresa Heathwaring, I listen to her podcast and she motivates me. I find that very motivating. She's not as stressful as the Americans because there's a lot of information there about creating my business and building my business. Steph Taylor, she's someone else that I follow now. She's Australian and she's young, and I find her to be very organized, far more organized than me. She started my love of spreadsheets. And as I work with her, that supports me with promoting and doing what I do, launching. So I have to launch all the time the graduate mastery program. People need to know that it's for almost qualified, newly qualified people who are returning to work, part-timers, because it's got a mix of clinical support, clinical study days, as well as the community support. But it's really clinical based, but it's getting people out into business. And so I have to launch it every 6 months. So that helps. So Steph Taylor helps with those relaunches. I'm working with Nikki Clark at the moment to get my messaging that little bit more streamlined and to support me to keep going, because I need the support as well. I need mentors to support me. Clinically mentoring, I've just bought myself a subscription to MIMS, and I've got some subscriptions to other platforms to make sure that clinically I'm still up to date, and I read research as it comes through and I get lots in my inbox research wise as well. So when we think about the people who are supporting us, about our mentors, about people we worked with before who we're not working with now, people that we want to work with again, because you can pop in and out. You can be working with someone and then stop for a bit and then restart. And we learn something new from these people. So it's really good when we have different things. So I also belong to a content academy. So, and that is all about, that's my reel stuff. So you may have seen, I've done the odd reel here and there. And the Clarity Content Academy, that has got its ideas. It's do this reel, do it like this, and do these things. And this is how we do it. And so that really helps me because I'm not very good at doing reels. I'm not very good at a lot of the social media things, simply because I forget. I enjoy looking at other people's. I enjoy interacting. And that's a huge part of it, isn't it? Is pressing that like making the comment, there's a couple of naturopaths that I follow and a couple of nutritionists that I follow on Insta who are quite prolific. So I tend to see more of their content in my feed. So that's when the comment, of course, will come up. I'm on my way. Save me a plate. I'm in Adelaide and chances are they're in Sydney or somewhere. But it's just, I look at the food on there and I just go, yeah. So all of these people motivate us. So looking at people's content, they're not mentoring me, but at the same time, they're motivating me to produce the content that I produce. And then I need mentors to make sure that I'm producing the right content, or because I produce a lot of content, making sure that that is streamlined and on course for what people need. So in the Academy at the moment, we've got the programs to practice and the immersion day, which I have talked about. And so we're working through that. We're working in a consistent, supportive way that hopefully isn't overwhelming people, and in a way that people can dip in and out of what they need when they need it, so that they've got all of the things there. If they want to create a Facebook group, it's in there. If they want to write a webinar, all the information's in there. All of the things are there, and then it's about making sure that we use that information to our advantage, making sure that we've got the support networks in place. And our mentors also are our friends from college, that we trained with. So I'm still good friends with a couple of people that I went to college with. They're still naturopaths, and I catch up with them. Often I'm catching up with them more on Messenger than I am in face-to-face because they live so far away, even though I'm in a relatively small city. These people motivate us, and if we haven't got that connection, it's hard to stay motivated and stay in business. We get burnt out very quickly. Empathy burnout can be very quick, and if we haven't got our systems in place, we haven't got our networks in place, we're more likely to burn out and not be able to achieve the things we want to achieve, not be able to support our clients in the way we want to support our clients, because answering those questions, these mini red flag recordings that I'm creating at the moment to make sure that people have got yet another resource to be able to quickly look something up. What is it I need to know? What is it that I should be looking at? And I only have 10 minutes to look this up, so I will listen to one of Geraldine's recordings. So when we think about mentoring, when we think about who is my mentor, mentors are everywhere, aren't they? We're surrounded by people who mentor us. Paying people is something we need to investigate. We need to decide on. Does this person resonate with me? Is this person going to help me in a way that's constructive and over the longer term? Is this person got a system or a stable of products that is going to help me? Is this person been in business long enough to really help me? And it was a big thing for a while there for the Americans to say, I was down to my last $1 and I was living out of my parents' garage. Well, mate, you totally are not someone I want to mentor me, because I don't want anyone down to their last $1. I've never been down to my last $1. I work. I'll go and get another job to support this job to make it work. Or I go and get another job to support my brain cells to be able to do this job, because it might be that I'm into empathy overload and I actually just need to work in a shop or answer telephones or something for a bit to take a headspace break from what I do. So I look at the story of people. What is their story? Part of this immersion at the moment is getting our backstory right. And my backstory is I've always manifested money because I've always gone, I have a goal. I'm going to get to that goal. I'm going to earn and save the money to get to that goal. I don't have any preconceived about money and being able to do something. I feel that money will always come because I work hard, not because I'm lying on my bed dreaming it in. I know it's going to come because I work hard. My husband works hard. My children work hard, but we work hard in a way that's positive and constructive and supportive. We work hard in a way that means none of us would think that we can't go out or we can't enjoy ourselves, but we can moderate our enjoyment to what's currently in our purse. So you can go down the beach rather than the cinema. One costs, one's free. We can do the things that we want to do because we have the support networks we need out there to support us. We've got that clinical mentor. Social media mentors, often we can just be following people for free on social media to see what they're doing. But we've got the people we need surrounding us to help us grow, to help us take that next step, to help us to develop to be the clinician that we want to be, the practitioner that we want to be. So the Academy's still open. It's still open for a little while. I will be closing the doors coming up to the retreat, to the virtual retreat, because everybody gets sent gifts and 1 month's worth isn't going to cut it. So I need you in the Academy sooner rather than later if you're not a member already, then I don't know, let's put a little treat in this week. In the show notes, you'll find a little discount code so that you can take a little bit off your admission fee if you would like. So I'm going to leave it there today. I hope you have a really good one. I really just want you thinking. I really just want you putting your thinking cap on about who you need in your life that supports you, who you don't need, who you can get rid of. And that might be me. I don't know, but I hope not. But have a look around, see what's out there, see who's really going to support you. Look at the threads, look at the conversations in the groups. Hopefully you're part of Strictly Education and Support. And have a look at the threads, see what's out there, see what people are saying. But you use your own intuition as well. Is this person going to help me on more than one level? Is this person going to help me emotionally as well as clinically, as well as all of the other areas that I need? What support do I need and how are they going to help me? I'm going to leave it on that note. Have an absolutely brilliant rest of day and I look forward to speaking to you or hearing you, listening to you. Email me anytime, of course, on the next podcast. See ya. Thanks so much for joining me today. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast for the weekly episodes. If you'd like even more support and learning, then the Academy is for you. Here you'll find part 2 of the herbal discussions, more clinical learning, and case studies to support your clients in practice. Bye for now.